Well, if it isn't authorized by the end of this legislative session, then nearly 95,000 people who live at or just above the poverty line could go without medical coverage. If this improvement plan is realized, this very spot that I'm standing actually could become the Montana Expo Park Arena. And that's not the only changes that are going to happen. Senator Tester broke down into tears when he was talking to his supporters, thanking them for their vote. And he also laid out what he plans to do during his third term. Take a look. That's right, I'm here in a very, very smoky West Glacier. Normally behind me, you could see beautiful mountain ridge, but they're socked in by smoke. And this is actually where a lot of visitors are finding out that they can't go up going to the Sun Road from the west side, but they say despite that, they're gonna try and make the best trip out of it. Back in 2003, the Roberts Fire burned more than 53,000 acres of land just north of Lake McDonald. And now the Howe Ridge Fire is burning all of this new growth and some structures inside of it. One of the biggest parts about this remodel is the new connections between the North Campus and the South Campus, and it's going to have a common area for all students. Today was a historic day for Showdown Montana as they changed the name of one of their runs to the George to honor one of their own. It was a wild morning for a family in Willowdale Lane when their home exploded, but thanks to the quick action of neighbors, they both got out okay. Showdown has been offering skiing in central Montana for decades, and the skiing community says that if it wasn't for two people who work on this mountain, they wouldn't be where they're at today. George Willett and Avery Gold are not only co-workers, but they are family, and their passion for ski areas is recognized by many, not only in Montana, but across the country as well.
He won the NSAA Lifetime Achievement Award. Now he's won this Pioneer Award, and it really has to do with being a leader in the industry and being ahead of the curve in terms of solving problems.
Problems like how to get more youth skiing by involving school PE programs and making skiing a more affordable sport for anyone willing to give it a try.
I've had a lot of fun. It's for me a dream job. I just have loved it.
The awards don't stop with George. His granddaughter Avery Gold, who is the marketing director here at Showdown, has her fair share as well.
So Avery was recognized as one of 10 under 30 in the ski industry nationwide, and she received that award for several reasons. She's very active and involved in various boards in the ski industry. Her just confident Avery way has a way of being heard and representing her generation.
Want me to help you with those skis?
Yeah.
Here, watch this.
And after learning about Avery's typical day, it's easy to understand why.
Every morning I wake up, I get the snow reports done at about 6 a.m. It's kind of a long process. I talk to some different DJs, I send reports different places. I try to keep our social media updated, let people know what's going on. Hey, could I get some pictures of you guys for our social media?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. You want to stand right here? All right, 1, 2, 3.
However, her job doesn't end there. She's a jack of all trades, and when things get busy, she does it all.
You guys having fun out there?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
A family of Montana treasures who don't think they're anything special, but the rest of the ski world begs to differ.
I just come to work every day and do my thing. I don't know. It's cool. It's nice, nice honor, but I'm here at Showdown in our little corner of the world, just trying to market a ski area in the middle of Montana.
Reporting at Showdown, Montana, I'm Ricky Blackburn, Montana Right Now. Well, if it isn't authorized by the end of this legislative session, then nearly 95,000 people who live at or just above the poverty line could go without medical coverage.
Medicaid expansions helped over 95,000 Montanans gain health care coverage.
Montana Medicaid expansion was passed during the 2015 legislative session, and according to a report issued by the Department of Revenue and the Department of Labor and Industry, nearly 1 in 10 Montanans have enrolled in the Medicaid program since its signing.
It's thrown a lifeline to our rural hospitals. It slashed our uninsured rate by almost 2/3. We were at 20% uninsured before Medicaid expansion.
Scott Sales, the Senate president, says the Medicaid expansion bill is one of the biggest talking points of the session, but the Republican Party will be looking to keep the budget in check if it passes.
It looks like it's going to have a Republican sponsor in the House. We don't know exactly what's going to be in there, but we think that there's going to be additional sideboards put on Medicaid to make it more accountable and more fiscally responsible.
Governor Bullock hopes both Republicans and Democrats can get a bill to the House floor sooner rather than later.
Certainly, I'm willing to work with Republicans, legislators, to find common ground and to make improvements to what we know already works for Montana.
Senate President Cowles says that Senator Edward Bouchery is actually working on a reauthorization bill, but at this time, it appears it's not on the legislative schedule. Reporting live in Helena, I'm Ricky Blackburn, Montana Right Now. Lawmakers learned there is no clear-cut answer to dealing with missing and murdered Indigenous women, and they say they have a long road ahead of them and law enforcement as well. In a matter of about 3 hours, the Senate Committee for Indian Affairs walked away understanding 3 problems.
Poor coordination, limited data, and insufficient resources are slowing progress in all aspects of improving tribal public safety.
According to the committee, these problems all stem from a lack of communication between the FBI, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and the Office of Investigation and Forensic Sciences. They say problems start the second the report is made, stating it's impossible to tell if someone is missing because they're lost in the woods versus being kidnapped.
When someone reports someone missing, regardless of what the circumstances are, until we determine there's a crime, sometimes there's a little lag in there. We have to be immediate in the response.
Even immediacy wouldn't fix all problems. Committee members pointed out from an FBI standpoint, the workload is extremely overbearing for agents near native lands.
Your FBI agents are working over 100 hours a week.
I wouldn't doubt it.
24/7.
Yes.
Do you think that's fair to the agents? Do you think it's fair to the cases that go unattended because they're overworked?
Ma'am, almost all of our agents are overworked right now.
But for the families who are dealing with these losses and are without closure, like the Loring Heavy Runner family, they just ask for change.
I would ask for you to please look into the law enforcement, look into the BIA and all the other law enforcement that do deal with missing and murdered Indigenous women, because they are doing something wrong.
Next step from here is more meetings, and the committee says they plan to bring in tribal law enforcement as well to hopefully get a better idea of what they're dealing with and how to better deal with missing and murdered Indigenous women.